So, hello, all of you. Welcome back to the fourth session. Before we begin with our session today, I have a few things to let you know. So, first thing is we will be circulating a Google form wherein you will have to put in the link to your public skills Google boost platforms URL. So all the steps are mentioned in the form. We have attached screenshots to it too, so you can all just follow the same and join. Make your URL public and just fill in that URL in the form. It's just for us to keep a track of how much you have all completed, and we have to just want to have a track of it. That's the first thing. The second thing would be we told you in the yesterday's session, right, that we will be organizing an hackathon if more than 5 people are interested to participate. So just if you are interested and you haven't already given your consent over there, please go to our Discord channel. We have put up a poll over there. Please just respond with a thumbs up. You can already see your icon there. You just have to click it. So that's for the second thing. And the third thing is after each and every session, right? If you have registered on the GDSC platform link, which we send in the first message, um, you will see there is a link which takes you to the gdsc community.dev platform. So that is where you register for the event. So we have been noticing that very few of you register for the event, but most of you are all here with the gmeet link which we share. So we would like to urge you all to register on the platform every time, because that is how GDSC India keeps a track of everything. And also, once you register, you see a button saying join the virtual meet. So just join using that, so that the platform tracks how many people have registered, and the people who have registered, have they checked in or not. So we have to uh, inform all of these details to GDSC India. So it becomes way much easier for us to have a track. So that's a request that please do join and register for the events prior. Even 5 minutes prior is okay, but just do that. And I think that was all about the instructions. Jay, if you are here, you can start with the session.
Yes, thank you. So, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so today I am explaining integrating Firebase and Google Cloud into our Flutter app. So, firstly, I will explain what is Firebase. So, Firebase is a backend developed by Google, and it contains NoSQL database. And the key features of Firebase are authentication. We can do authentication with it, like we can do authentication using login with Google, login with Facebook, login with Twitter, and a phone number and OTP authentication. And we can use real-time database of Firebase and hosting it provides, and test labs, then notifications. So as I said about authentication, so it contains authentication, and for that we have to add some user permissions here in projects. Then then we have to go little bit natively for that, like in the xcode source code we have to add Google services info file. It contains all the details about Firebase. And now I will show the steps to like how to connect Firebase with Flutter app in iOS. So we need iOS 10 and macOS 10.12 for that. And we have to create a new Firebase project. Then we have to give it a name, and App Store ID should be unique. Bundle ID should be unique. Then we have to register app, and it will provide us Google services dash info dot list file. we have to paste it into Xcode as I shown here. We have to paste it inside the runner folder. Okay, then we have to add the Firebase plugin, Flutter Fire plugin, Firebase underscore of the given version. I will explain where to add it. Uh, as I explained earlier, the file named pubspec.yaml contains all the packages that we have used. So we have to add this Firebase Firebase function. Firebase plugin here, and then we have to add Google services.json file inside the Android folder of our app. As you can see, the file is located here. Okay. After that, we can proceed. We can use the features of Firebase, and after adding Firebase underscore core plugin, we have to run Flutter packages get to install all the plugins that we have added into spec file, and then I will explain about the Firebase. Okay, so generally, we can use authentication. In the authentication, we have uh, phone number method here. Then you can see the usage here. Uh, it is uh, it is cost free because of we are not using it much. So it not costly. Firebase is not costly. Then we can use Firebase Firestore database. It is no SQL database. Then we can use real-time database, Firebase storage, hosting, and Crashlytics to detect crashes in apps. Then performance app, then app distribution to distribute app. We can distribute app to iOS and Android. Okay, these are the apps three versions distributed. Then in the analytics, we have dashboard here. It shows all the analytics about app, like in which devices it crashed, and what is the time, what is the location. It shows us user activity, like from last 30 days 69 users used our app. Then okay, then we have in-app messaging here, cloud messaging to send the push notifications. Yeah, and dynamic links, like we are sharing any product that contains our uh, in our app, like we are using Flipkart, so we can share the products. So this dynamic links feature is used there to share anything from app to the another app. And now we are talking about a Google Cloud platform. In Google Cloud platform, we need to learn about some APIs provided by the Google. Like I have used Maps SDK for Android, Maps SDK for iOS. If we want to fetch data from the maps, like addresses from the maps, so we can use for that we can use Places API. Then Google Cloud is available for all the platforms, iOS, Android. You can use it in website also. And we need Android device verification API to verify our device is genuine or not. This API. And now I will explain some CRUD operations like post request, get request. So this is Postman application. If we send the post request here, as you can see in the body, inside a raw, we have JSON data named Jay, and job is app developer. So if we send it, uh, this data goes to inside the server, and we got ID here 539. Then we can fetch the user list. So we are using the backend service here. Then these are the post and get requests. We can use all these requests of a postman collection using the http packages, http plugin. So here you can see http plugin. I am using 0.13.4. Okay, so inside env file we have all our links that are required, and then in the functions we have that uh, postman requests, like I'm getting a URL from the env file, and using URL here, hilmi URL as a variable, then post request, and sending the data like username, then date of birth of user, email address of user, mobile name, gender, then sending it, and waiting for the request to send. And when it done, so we will receive some JSON data, as here we received the data. So we can use this postman collection in Flutter. And we have to add permissions in our Android manifest.xml, which is located inside your directory name of a Flutter project, inside Android folder, inside app folder, and then in src resources, then inside main you have Android manifest.xml. And in this you have to add, if you want to use backend, like if you want to use Firebase, so you have to add a permission for internet, then location and network state, and you have to add API keys inside this Android manifest file. And similarly for the iOS, uh, you have to navigate to this iOS folder, and inside this you have to navigate in runner. Then in runner we have Google services info.list file here, and then info debug. And in this info debug you have to add some uh, keys here, like I'm showing it in Xcode here. In the runner we have some permissions here, permissions for push notifications, as as you can see we have background fetch service on, then remote notifications on, background processing on, and we are using the developer account for this. Okay. And like post request, and post request is used to send the data, get request is used to fetch the data, then update is used to change the data. Okay, then delete is used to delete the data. These are the crude operations we can use in Flutter. So, and if we have to use assets, our assets which are located outside the our Flutter project directory, we have to add path to them here. Like I have added assets.env file because we are using the file which is located outside the uh, library folder. This library folder, we have to add all this folder name. And for the phone authentication, I'm showing the function that is used for phone authentication. Now, this is the register screen.dart file. Here we have a phone number controller from which we are getting the phone number. Here a validator, like text should be equal to 10, length of the text should be equal to 10. And here I have used a text field for it, and its max length should be 10. Then the controller used here is phone number controller. So we are getting a phone number from this controller, and after that it is navigating to OTP screen, and in the OTP screen we have used authentication by Flutter. As you can see, I have added the package Firebase underscore auth for that. For that. So this is the function for this, like Firebase authentication dot instance dot verify number. We have provided the number which user entered. Then if the verification is completed, loading should be false, and it used the credentials sent by the SMS. Okay, then it will throw the error here. I have used a catch. Then verification field method is available here if verification is failed. So in the code send function, we have our verification ID and resend token if we have to resend the OTP, and it is of integer data type, and verification ID is a string data type. So we have set the delay of 120 seconds for this. After the 120 seconds, user is able to uh, get recent OTP, and OTP authentication will be timeout after some 60 seconds. This is a timeout duration of for that. So this is a Firebase authentication, and now I will explain something about Google Cloud Maps SDK. Location screen. Okay, so inside location screen, we have used here Google Maps Flutter. So for this Google Maps Flutter, we have to add the API key. As I said, I have added the API key inside this Android manifest.xml file for this, and inside the info.playlist in Xcode. So for this, we have here a Google Map, and uh, this map type is normal. All the details are provided inside the class only. So we can set markers, and we have to use a plugin for this. We have to use this plugin, Google Maps underscore Flutter, and to share the link, I will show you that dynamic links feature. Okay, inside the navigation screen, I have used this Firebase dynamic links feature. This feature is useful in every app. So this is the function for that plugin, Firebase dynamic links. If user click on a link, so it will check according to the app ID. If app ID is verified, it will navigate it to the shop screen. Okay, and if app ID not verified, it will navigate it to the Play Store link of the app or App Store link of the app, particular app. That's it. And here we have used notifications for the app. So this is the screen for the notification. If notification is sent, it will add it to the special screen of the notifications. Okay. All these things are provided by the Firebase. So Firebase is important while we are developing Android app or iOS app or a Flutter app. So it is used in every platform. Like you can use Firebase inside web, Android, iOS, macOS, Windows. And Google Cloud is necessary for using Google features, like you can use Google Maps, everything in Google Maps. You can fetch your addresses. And we are using this .env file because we are storing all the links inside the .env, so that they should not goes into compilation. So these are the links outside, links and assets are outside the uh, Flutter project. So our app size is reduced. And now I will explain about the Android, how to set up Firebase in Flutter inside Android. So for this, yeah, as I said, you have to create a new Firebase project, and inside the Firebase product, you can add an app. Like here we have iOS option, Android option, then web option, or Unity. Like if you are developing a game. Okay, so all the options are present here. You have to add app from this. Okay, then you have to enter a package name which is unique, app nickname, and signing keys like SHA1, SHA2, 56 keys. These two keys are used in the authentication. These two keys are used in the Firebase authentication. Okay, then we have to add this Google dash service.json file inside the Android source code, native Android source code of our Flutter app. Then we have to do some changes inside the build.gradle file. I will show that files. Inside Android, we have to add the Google dash services.json inside the app folder, and then we have to edit this build.gradle file. Or we have to add this line, this class path to use Firebase. Okay, and then finally we have to add Firebase underscore core plugin inside this pubspec.yaml file. So the process is similar, but you have to uh, Firebase provide two different files, two different configuration files for the iOS, Android, and if you are using web or game, so the files are different for them. So okay, so uh, if you can ask doubts now, I'm done with the explanation of Flutter and Firebase Google Cloud.
Okay, then. You can put your doubts in the chat box, and until then, I'll share the Google Form link with you all, and also the resources for today's session. So the code labs and everything in the chat box right now, and you'll get them on the WhatsApp group too. So I'll just share it in a minute. Till then, you can, if anyone has their doubts, they can unmute or put their doubts in the chat box. So these are the resources, and okay, I think there is a limit to number of characters I can set. So I'll share the resources on WhatsApp group, and here you can access the Google form. Just fill in the form. I have enabled editing the form, so you can change the status as and when you have completed more labs, or if you have completed the best. Uh, Jay, are you? Do you have your YouTube channel resources ready?
Yes, I have ready. I will share the link to it in WhatsApp group.
Yeah, that would be great. Uh, so just check once if you are able to access the form, and someone, if you could just confirm. Has anyone tried accessing the form? Can you just open it once?
Yes, form is accessed.
Okay, great. So, are there any other doubts, guys? So, I think we don't have any more doubts. So, we can call it a day again, and hope to see you in the next session. It would be on Tuesday. And happy Holi, guys. Thank you
Happy
for
Holi.
joining.
Hello. Uh,
Yes, yes.
uh, uh,